we are going to discuss how to do account-based marketing using HubSpot. As Abhinav mentioned, um, so Abhinav is mentioning that these features were launched in January, mid-Jan, yes, but most of them then were in beta. It was on May 19th that all of them were released in Marketing Hubs, and a few are in Sales Hub, Sales Pro. Most of them are in Marketing Pro and above plan, and a few are in Sales Pro. And as someone who Nisway has been practicing or providing ABM services to its customer 2017 onwards. Yes, and because we have been using HubSpot a lot. Uh, we we have kind of always tried to make HubSpot work for ABM, and I'm saying make HubSpot work for ABM, and I don't know if my access to HubSpot will now be removed because there are so many HubSpot people here, and they'll be like, okay,
I'll
is
do
it
that,
not
Deepak.
good?
Thank you.
No, no. Okay, okay. Yeah, because it was difficult earlier, and on May 19th, when all these new features came up, I have been like very happy because it is going to solve my problem a lot. It's going to make my job very, very easy. So this kind of a presentation is more about how happy I am than an feature overview or anything of sorts. So yeah, just bear with me there. Okay, so let's just begin with a bit of a context and what was the story before these features were launched. And most of you who have not, because these features are pretty new, like the betas were launched in January, but now like May 19th, everything is full-fledged available. So most of you, I'm assuming, will not have started using these yet. So if these features don't exist, so this is how ABM's going to be executing ABM using HubSpot. So like you can be a mid-sized IT business. We were working with one. We still are actually. Yes. So yeah, they their inbound engine was so up and running, and generating leads every month, decent amount of lead generation. They were converting, good quality, everything was there. The business was growing with inbound. We were churning out webinars, churning out content, case studies, PDFs, lead magnets, everything was happening. So the inbound was going very well. And this kind of continued for, so this started in 2011 and continued until 2015, 2016. Um, there was this constant growth because of inbound. But then around 2016, what happened was uh, the business had changed by then a lot. Um, while they were generating inbound leads, they were happy to serve them, but those were not their ideal, target companies to work with. Then in 2016, they decided to go and play in the enterprise market, compete with the likes of Infosys, TCS, and all of that. And so there was a huge kind of a shift that needed to happen, a change that needed to happen in the marketing strategy as well. So the problem was this only, that they were getting from inbound, the leads that were coming, they were giving them $10,000 to $50,000 deals, but they wanted to play in the 100,000 plus market. They wanted to get multi-year deals. 100,000 was like the minimum, and anything more than that is what they were looking for. Uh, so, as I said, my accesses might be removed because, yeah, a few things that I'm going to share are about how we struggled with HubSpot, try to make HubSpot work to this whole, account-based marketing strategy. So, going to share that with you because, you know, uh, these are the things which if you are starting out on your ABM journey, you might also find these challenges, or at least, because these are not tool specific problems. These are problems which will come up if you try to move from a inbound strategy to an ABM strategy. So these are not tool specific. In fact, HubSpot has launched now so many tools which are about ABM and which help execute ABM so flawlessly, so easily. But you know, I don't think there is any other marketing automation platform which allows you to do that at this moment. So that's a great thing. And, I'm kind of envious of you too. You also who will be starting your ABM with all these new features because you have not seen the pain. So it's kind of difficult. So the questions we were getting were like we were having this conversation with the team there, with the marketing person who was handling the whole ABM execution of the ABM strategy from the client's end. And the question was, which are my engaged accounts? Now, before the new features, there was no company lists sort of a feature in HubSpot. You cannot create a company list. All you could create are contact lists. So we tried, we had the reporting add-on. So we tried playing with it around, figured out a custom report that could give these sort of numbers, which could sort out company names by the engagement that they have done. As soon as we gave them this, they come back with this question that, okay, these metrics are good. There is, like, you can see marketing emails and web engagement and all of that. But what do these mean? Is there like a single metric that we are tracking? How these numbers are coming up? Is it from just one contact is engaging so much in the company? Or is it like all of the people, all of the decision makers are engaging? So like, is there one metric that we could focus on? Because I don't know what these individual uh, engagements are saying to me. So we're like, okay, let's just try to build that. So again, custom reporting came in handy. We built something like this, which was sorting out accounts by HubSpot, cumulative HubSpot scores, and the number of contacts. Um, so this essentially is that what is the score of a company, the cumulative score, and how many contacts are there. So you can get an idea that how you know how engaged on average how engaged these contacts are. Because at that by that point also, like before May 19th, company score was not really there. We only had the property of scoring with respect to contacts. So we just had to take out all the contacts, whether they were targeted or non-targeted. That was kind of a trade-off that we had to do there. But get in all contacts, accumulate their scores, and like get the list of companies like that. So it kind of helped us, get give the company a single metric that they could use to figure out, okay, who is engaging. Then the key difficulty with respect to ABM, executing ABM, that we have learned is aligning sales and marketing. So the question is, like, the SDRs, my sales development representatives, are chasing a bunch of other accounts too. I see updates on those accounts, emails being sent out, meetings being booked. So why there is no engagement from marketing on those accounts? And the other way around too. You guys are engaging with people with your newsletters, with your webinars and everything, but those accounts don't match what my SDRs are chasing. And so why is there misalignment? Why is that? And it seems like very stupid to say, or like a very lame reason. But one of the key reasons was that because so this will happen even within a company when there are like departments, sales and marketing, misalignment happens. But then this was the case where they were a different company altogether. They were our clients, so the interaction used to happen a lot less than what you could have within a company. So between marketing, we acting as their marketing arm, and them being overlooking marketing as well as being the sales team. Uh, we used to talk in fortnightly, and within that fortnight, we used to like on our call, we used to discuss, okay, these are the accounts we're going after, and we would do some activities there. But within those fortnights or monthly calls, there used to be more accounts being added. some lead came in, some account just reached out themselves, they reached out to someone earlier who kind of replied. So all of those kind of became opportunities, which now neither we know about them, or the ones which we engaged in that fortnight, they also don't know about them. There was a huge misalignment, and every time we used to regroup together, this was kind of a a question which none of us had answers to, like why is this happening? Because what it required essentially to solve this was a dynamic system where we really don't need to have, they really don't need to manually update our target accounts list or anything like that. But at that point in time, HubSpot being our CRM, there was it was not possible then to do that in HubSpot, that we have a dynamic account list, and new accounts which are being targeted get added to it automatically. So yeah, these were like some of the main huge challenges and that we faced, and while we're trying to make make ABM work for them and make HubSpot work for ABM. That um, so essentially, like to conclude it all, what was happening was that we were trying to make a system built for lead based marketing work for account based marketing. And yeah, it was kind of quite difficult, and that is why now it gives me so much joy that all of this is now so easy to execute. So yeah, coming back to the awesome line graph that is being put on this PPT. Yeah. So so yeah, HubSpot was not equipped then, but then what happened is HubSpot launched its ABM features, and then things have changed. Now we have found our ladder to climb that difference which was there between 100k, 10k to 50k leads, to go up to 100k plus deals. So what are the steps on these ladders? These are the new features which have been launched, like company lists, company scoring. There are default ABM properties which have been launched. Then there are target accounts tool, account overview. So HubSpot has launched a target accounts tool, which is like a separate tool. So you have like a social tool, like a landing pages tool. So there is now a target accounts tool too, which is like my favorite part in all the features which are being launched. Then there is the out of box ABM reports and dashboards which are there. So yeah, that was kind of what we have new, and now I'm going to jump into like go one by one on each of these and how it kind of helps in account-based marketing. If you're starting out, if you're already on that road, how it's going to get easier, way more, better for you to identify your accounts, engage them, nurture them, and then finally close the deals. Um, okay. So by the way, this funnel, this account-based marketing funnel, how many? Oh, so is there anyone who would like to talk about the funnel, uh, the account-based marketing? I'm sure this is different from, and now HubSpot has moved to the flywheel, so we don't talk funnel anymore. But yeah, I'm sure people practicing inbound, they must be thinking, why is it upside down? Is it like Patal Lok? You know. Anyone? This way, folks. Uh, who wants to talk about? Okay. Okay, all right. So this is this is sourced from Terminus. This is like the account-based marketing funnel. This is different, as Abhinav said. This is not about generating a lot of leads and then funding them, nurturing them, and refining them, and finally getting to a number of customers. This is about identifying what companies you want to work with, then expanding your reach in those companies, engaging the people in those companies, the people who are important to you, make them your advocates, and then eventually convert them as customers. um, and all these while you do all of this, measurement of this is like a key aspect. By the way, Terminus is just an ABM ads tool, and they are kind of the pioneer in the ABM marketing, account-based marketing world. They've got books and everything. So if you're just starting out, you can just read their stuff. And yeah, so that is the ABM funnel essentially. So the list of tools that I mentioned, the list of new features which have come along, let's just look at how each of those feature help with each of the stages which are there, which of the stages they help with in our funnel. So the first part is identify, which is essentially you define your target accounts, you identify them, and then yeah, you basically define what accounts you want to chase. So to answer that, uh, HubSpot has launched 3 default properties. Two of them are company properties, so you can find out target account and ICP tier, ideal customer profile tier, as 2 properties in your portal, company properties in your portal. This property is just a simple yes and no, whereas the ICP tier is a checkbox. So for any company, you can mark them target account yes or no, and you can mark them with the ICP tier. By default, there are 3 tiers: tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Essentially, in ABM, tiering is based on the value of an account for you. So tier 1 is like the accounts where you can score like $1 million worth of deals, or whatever is the relative number for you. Tier 2 is like lesser amount of deals, and tier 3 accounts are those where you will score even lesser amount of deals. So you can do those tiering, and you can add more options. If you have like a tier 4, tier 5, you can add those to this property. So that's also there. So once you start tagging your companies in HubSpot with this, you will be able to generate a list of accounts for yourself. So it will look, and the bonus is you use workflows to automate the process. You don't do this manually, go to each company and mark them. Rather, you use a workflow, something like this, that if their annual revenue is greater than this, mark them like this. If it is lesser, then mark them as tier 4. So things like that. You can add more values obviously here. Like if their number of, if we already know like 10 contacts from the company, then mark them on a better tier. If we already, if they're located in a particular geography where you have a solid footprint, then mark them as tier 1. So mark them as target accounts. So those are the things. You can build a workflow, and you can, this way you can define, identify and define your target list of accounts that you want to go after. Um, so that's on identify. Now there is another feature that they have launched, a very cool one, that will help you identify your target list of accounts. uh, so then this is again, this is the target accounts tool that I was mentioning, a screenshot of that. In this, there is a recommendations tab that you will find. And if you click on that, you'll see a list of companies. This recommendations tool is based on what all target accounts you will choose in the first place. So these recommendations will be based on that, the company data, the companies that match those target accounts. HubSpot will recommend you to add them to your target account list. And then with on by staying on the same screen, you can just add them, move them to your target account list. So yeah, it's pretty easy, and it's pretty, you don't have to really put your mind to it. Just take the decision whether you want this company or not want this company in your target account. So yeah, this just makes identifying your list of target accounts so easy. And not just you identify for like one time, you can also keep it growing with these recommendations, so that there is you always have companies to target. uh, Now the next stage, expand. So how do you expand in these accounts? Once you have your list of target accounts, you obviously would want to expand your reach within each of those target accounts. So what you can do is create a company list, a dynamic company list, which was earlier not a feature, and because of which we used to have like spreadsheets of target accounts, and then misalignments and all of that. Sorry. Um, yep. So we used to have that, but now because you can create company lists, you can create a smart list based on whether it's a target account, which ICP tier they are, and all of that, and then plug that into your LinkedIn ads from right within HubSpot. So in your ads tool, you see create audience option. In that option, there is a new option added, which is the company list that you are seeing here. right now, and you can just plug this list in to your LinkedIn ad account and then just run ads. And if any new company will get added to this list, they will also uh, start getting targeted with your ads. So pretty smooth, no more exporting importing data from one system to the other. To just create a list once and then run your ads and just keep focus on your ads, optimizing the performance on the creatives, which ones are working or not. Don't have to worry about if new accounts are being added, importing, exporting CSVs. Don't have to worry about that.
Hey, Deepak, I'd just
Yes.
like to add here as well that see the whole ABM tool, there's also a new feature which is the AI-powered recommendation list. So over and above the contact list and the company list that you just spoke about, you will also get recommendations from HubSpot, within HubSpot, about the contacts and the companies that you should be targeting. So this is an absolutely new feature. We've invested a lot of money into powering this through AI, and this is the feature which really stands out and gives us a direct competition with the folks you spoke about at the beginning of this presentation. So that is a very cool one, and it is something that really stood out to me when I was going through all the features and taking all the relevant trainings on ABM.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I mentioned it earlier in the identify wala part.
Oh,
Like
is
when
it?
you identify, yeah, yeah, I did.
Okay,
But
okay, great.
yeah, worth a mention. Yeah, obviously, because yeah, it's way easier if you just once you can decide for one time that these are your list, but you can just keep expanding that list based on the recommendations. So definitely a great feature. Um, uh, so yeah, coming back to expanding your reach within your identified target accounts, using LinkedIn ads and integrating them with HubSpot and using company lists is one way. Another is how do you engage and advocate them. So what you can do is create so there is a new property which is being added, and that is a contact property which is user roles. So what's the role a user plays in a particular company, in a particular what is their role? Are they a decision maker? Are they an influencer? Are they a blocker? Are they a champion of your company? So you can tag all of that. This is also like a checkbox. A user can have multiple roles too, multiple checkbox, and you can add your own values apart from the default ones which are being provided by HubSpot. Um, so when you do that, you'll obviously be able to use the list tool, the simple list contacts list tool, which is there already in HubSpot, and create a list of contacts. Now, once you have this role based audience, and in ABM, as one, personalization is just like a key key attribute. So you will be able to personalize your content, personalize your campaigns based on user roles. So that and if you add the layer of company lists on top of it, then you can basically show different content to each person in the company based on their role. So that is like the absolute true one-to-one ABM that you can execute using these new features, using this just a new property which they have launched. Mm. So that is so this is again the account overview, a screenshot of the account overview tool. So for any account that is there in your CRM, you can see which all are the contacts in that account when they. So there are two columns: last touch and last engagement. So last touch is essentially when your team touch based with them. Last engagement is when they engaged with your content, opened an email or viewed a page or things like filled up a form, so things like that. And then there you see the buying roles which are there. So these buying roles are essentially the ones that you can use to create lists, and then use those lists to optimize content, deliver one-to-one email campaigns, one-to-one uh, personalized landing pages. All of that you can do. Moving on now. again, this comes under the engage and advocate part of the funnel. This account overview tool is something which gives like a single screen view of what all is happening in a particular account. You can see how many new contacts are being created, how many emails, one-to-one emails were sent, log calls. This is also, I just want to mention, this is a feature which is available if you have Sales Hub Pro or above. This is not available with Marketing Hub. So yeah, that's there, but this is essentially a sales very helpful for the sales team. But for the marketers also, this can help in the sense that, as I mentioned earlier, there used to be a lot of misalignment with respect to who we are engaging and who the salespeople were engaging, because these are like two different companies and two different departments. And even like this happens within the same company but different departments, this misalignment. So this is one overview where everyone can come in and just take a look and get on the same page. So they can, you can work with your sales team, or if you're a salesperson, you can work with your marketing guys to just say inform and approach your engagement strategy with respect to what is happening with each of these contacts. For example, say if a long time has passed, like Lacey Thomas here, and no outreach has been done to them, maybe because they are not a buying role in this case, but if they are a buying role, so you can tell your sales person that, okay, there needs to be a touch point with them because they engaged with our ABM 101 page. So the marketing can give that input to the sales, and similarly sales can also provide similar inputs to marketing that we made a touch point, and now this is the outcome from the touch point. Now I think you should send them some similar content or something like that. So the teams can work like really closely and can be on the same page at all times because of this tool, the account overview tool that HubSpot has provided. Moving on to the measure part. So there have been out-of-the-box ABM dashboards and reports which are being provided now. So this is just if you go to a report library and select target accounts, you can already, as you can see on the screenshot, you can already see 12 pre-made reports for you, which can help you see your number of ideal customers, page views by your target accounts. So a lot of reporting which is being happening and is like out of the box, which you require, is done now with the launch of these new features. So yeah, so as I walk through the entire funnel, I think it's pretty much, and I want to thank HubSpot for this, that they have kind of kept in mind the entire funnel and designed or given the features that help with each of the stages in the funnel, from the identify part to measuring it all. They have just like worked on everything to just make each of the stage relatively way easier. So yeah, so that is it. Now I don't know if a lot of you are using already executing ABM, or have an ABM approach or an inbound approach, or would want to try out ABM after this with the new features and everything. This is kind of a good check, a fit assessment that you can do. You can ask yourself these questions, and if your answer to them is yes, then probably ABM is the thing that you would want to take up. So yes, I think with that it's yeah, that's all I had to share. Now to you guys, whatever questions you have.